Hello, friends. Welcome to Marriage, Madness, and Magic. This is the podcast where we chat about marriage, the good, the bad, the crazy. Madness, maybe we'll spill a little tea. Magic, raising kids, and the pure joy and antics of grandkids. I'm your redheaded host, Tabitha Jean D'Agata, and this is my co-host, my Italian husband, Joe.
Yo, Adrienne, we did it!
Welcome to episode number 9.
Oh my God, 9.
9 episodes.
9. Wow.
I cannot believe that we have recorded 9 episodes together.
Yeah.
Just you and I.
You and I.
Together for 37 years.
Yes.
A couple of grandparents sitting at the kitchen table.
Yeah.
Recording a podcast.
Right.
Here we are.
Mm-hmm.
How exciting. And I have been waiting for this particular episode for a month. We are having my brother's childhood friend from Lawrence, Massachusetts, Mr. Joshua Lamboy.
Yes.
He was on Cobra Kai, The Walking Dead, and his credits go on.
And on.
And I have so many questions for him about his career, about how he got started, about his family. And he may not know this, but you are a professional voice actor.
Yes.
You are the double for Mr. Donald Duck.
Absolutely. Oh, boy. What's your maga?
You know what? I think I feel a Golden Globe in your future.
Yes.
I do. I don't know, maybe an Emmy. Something's coming. I'm feeling it. I mean, that was a 10. That was a 10 sneeze if I've ever heard one.
A lot of dust.
A lot of dust. A lot of dust, yes. But today is really special.
Yes.
I'm enjoying this. This podcast is definitely a privilege.
Mm-hmm.
I love this platform. I love that we do this together.
Right.
I love that we share bits of ourselves, as crazy as we are.
We're crazy.
We are crazy. And I love to have special guests on, like Joshua Lamboy.
Right.
So,
I'm excited.
Please welcome to episode number 9. A great honor, my brother's childhood friend, Mr. Joshua Lamboy. Welcome, Joshua Lamboy, to our podcast. We are so excited to have you because a lot has changed since you were a little boy in Lawrence, Massachusetts, running around the court with my baby brother.
Yep.
3 feet ago.
Oh, definitely 3 feet ago. What are you up to now? You have a family.
Yes, I have 2 kids, and since I've worked on Cobra Kai, I'm going to another convention and signing autographs in Chicago, October 25th and 26th. I'm currently working on the show, which I'll have to come back to you guys later and tell you what it is because I've signed a lot of papers and can't say what it is.
I'm so excited.
But it is pretty prominent.
Awesome.
It is very good.
You're killing me.
I know.
I've waited a month for you on this podcast, and now you're going to make me wait.
It happens.
Oh, this is so good.
But it's a good one. It's definitely a good one. So I'll definitely come back on the podcast and I'll be like, it's this. And you'll be like, we know, we saw.
Oh, I can't wait. Now, if I'm correct, your dad was into martial arts.
Yes.
And is that how you got started?
Yes. So my dad was into martial arts already. And the funny thing was, I was a scrappy little kid, but Jason and I went into that private school first grade.
Yes.
And
Holy Rosary.
That's right. And so the funny thing is, I'd come home in bruises, and then it was that thing of like, well, why didn't you hit back? And you were just so afraid of the rules.
Right.
I don't want to be in trouble. You're just going into school.
Right.
And so then one day I came with bruises, and my mom is like, oh, wait till your father gets home. And I thought that meant I was going to get a whooping.
Oh,
I was like, oh, no.
Yeah.
And then he comes in and he's in his military fatigues, right? I'll never forget it. And then he looks at me, looks at my mom, looks at me, and I'm kind of like wincing, like, oh, what's going to happen? And now that I'm an adult, I clearly understand that there was a convo that happened through their eyes, kind of like, this is happening. He's going straight to martial arts with me. It was basically all that with just eyes.
Right.
And so he comes over, he takes my hand, and we leave. And he takes me to United Taekwondo in Pelham, New Hampshire.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. And then I started training there, and it was interesting because I took to it like a starving child. There's kids who take it and then they play around and stuff. I was hungry for it. I would just, we would learn our lessons, and they were like, all right, little kids, sit on the side, and the black belts are going to do their thing.
Do you think you were hungry for it because you felt you had something to prove?
Yeah, I think it was one, it just felt natural to do.
Right.
Right. And I honestly didn't even think about the bullying aspect of it.
Yeah.
My body just took to it. And also, since I was a kid, I was a natural mover. I liked dancing. So, there's a thin line between dance and martial arts.
Right.
You were like the road runner on that court. Let me tell you, the way you would run around that court in Lawrence, you were like this little road runner.
Oh, and now I'm paying for it with my 5-year-old boy.
Yeah.
You always get one just like you.
Oh, yeah. So I took martial arts. And the funny thing is, my mom reminded me of a story when I told her I reconnected with Jason. She said that there was a day when he tried to start stuff and he tried to hit, and I laid him out.
Oh.
But the funny thing is, so it's a cute story. I remember, I think it was a girl named Nina in our class, and he was pulling on her arm, and I stepped in and just hook kicked him right in the face.
Oh, no.
And he just landed flat like a cartoon. And mind you, in martial arts, you learn in combinations, you learn all this stuff. I was ready for round 2, and he's on the ground.
Oh, my poor baby brother.
That's it.
He probably just didn't see it coming.
Yeah, but your brother, no, this was a kid named Vincent.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And your brother witnessed it.
Oh.
Your brother witnessed it. So I get pulled to the office, right? And when my mom comes to the school, she says the first person she sees is Jason. And he goes, Midge, Josh is in the office, and man, did he whoop?
Oh, that's awesome.
Really enough, again, I'm ready for round 2, and I'm like, is that it?
Oh, that's so funny. I'm glad it wasn't my brother.
Yeah.
No. The little girl gave me a little kiss, and that's how I got my first kiss.
Oh, that's a great story. I love that.
Yeah.
You know what another thing I love? That a little Puerto Rican boy from Lawrence, Massachusetts played a Russian sensei.
Oh,
how did you land that?
So that's a funny story because I'll try to condense it. So my career was, ever since I was young, I wanted to be in TV and film. Ever since I was young, and I wanted to act. So, once we moved and we went to Florida, I got into as many acting classes and plays. And then in high school, I auditioned, and there was a school in Miami that was very famed. You trained in an art. And so I studied acting for 4 years, and I studied dance, mime, singing, everything. And then I kept my martial arts with me, and I would make fight scenes. In college, I studied musical theater. After college, I did 2 years of college, and then my professors, I was going to transfer, and then I auditioned for UCF, University of Central Florida, for their BFA program, musical theater. I get accepted. I go back to my dance teacher, and I say, hey, I got in. They only accept 6 people a year. And I was close with her, and I liked her because she was tough, and she told me the way it was, just how I like it, straight and to the point.
Right.
And she kind of looked at me. She goes, so? I'm like, wait, whoa, what do you mean so? Am I not supposed to transfer? Or is this? She gets close to me and whispers, ready. You've been ready.
Oh,
nice.
That's
and then
awesome.
The acting teacher comes out of the hallway. She's like, oh, I agree. And they're like, weren't you kind of performing, kind of outside of school even before you got here? I'm like, yeah. They're like, yeah, go.
Yeah.
And so a lot of my buddies were like, stay in school, and I'm like, I think I'm going to try to start working professionally. And I did. And what was amazing about that, no student debt.
That is amazing.
So I went straight into performing professionally, went into Miami, danced professionally for a while, and then auditioned at Universal Studios in 2007. And I got the role of Sinbad in the 8th Voyage of Sinbad stunt show.
I love that.
And then I did that for a couple of years. And then they were opening the Wizarding World of Harry Potter 2010. And I auditioned and I got in.
Wow.
The character I played, they had a little show called the Tri-Wizard Spirit Rally based off of the 4th movie, Goblet of Fire. So our show had a Gryffindor prefect. We had the Beauxbaton Academy of Magic, which were like the French dancers. And then we had young athletic guys who were going to do a fight scene, and they were playing Russians. And I was one of the Russians. And I became the fight captain for that show.
Nice.
Wow.
And so I learned how to speak in a Russian dialect. And I did that show for several years. I met my wife there.
That's awesome.
Show.
Yeah.
And then after a couple of years, I was like, this is great, but this is the journey of life where, it's comfortable and you can stay comfortable. And I'm like, that's not the dream though.
Right. You're right.
At the time, the big movie places were New York and LA. But then what started happening was they were starting to pass what's called tax film incentives in North Carolina, Louisiana, and Atlanta. And what worked out is like basically films started popping up. And I said, you know what? Instead of trying to live in LA or trying to live in New York, which is super expensive and takes such a long time.
Yeah.
You'll be eating ramen noodles.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I was like, I could make a living in a home in Atlanta and be a family man.
Yep.
And so we made the move to Atlanta. And luckily, like, people had already started hearing about my name. And so I started working. I was very fortunate. But again, it's, investment of time. Like, I've been putting in my time and meeting people and doing fight scenes already by then.
Right.
So my name was already heard of. And so did that, had an agent. Worked in the industry for a while. The thing with Cobra Kai that's interesting is I had connections in Cobra Kai. Now, what's really cool about Cobra Kai is I was working a job in Texas when season 1 came out, and I believe it was on YouTube Red.
Yeah.
And it was a job I wasn't happy doing. I wasn't happy with, where I was. My kid was 1 year old, and I just wanted to be home and hold my daughter.
Of course.
And I was in a hotel room in this job I didn't like. I watched Cobra Kai, and like all of us who grew up in the 80s, it meant a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And especially to me being a kid of olive-colored skin, learning martial arts to defend himself. When I saw the show, something happened to me. Like, I don't know if like electricity came from my body, and I said, I got to go back. I got to go back and start training. So I found somebody in Atlanta who was taught by the same guys I took from in New Hampshire.
Oh, wow.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so when I came in, they were like, hey, where did you train? And I said, well. And so he flipped out. And then unfortunately, COVID world happened and a lot of businesses couldn't survive.
Right. That's true.
So what's interesting is they were doing Zoom classes in the one in New Hampshire, and I decided why not do a couple of Zoom classes, and I hit them up, and they were like, oh my God, you were here when you were like 7.
You're like, it's you.
They're like, yeah, they remember my dad, and then they saw me train. They're like, well, you clearly haven't stopped, and so every once in a while, I go up north to Pelham to train at the old spot.
Oh, that's
nice.
awesome.
Yeah.
I really love that.
So how that connects is, I'm back in the full swing of things, I'm getting my belts, still training, still doing my stunt training and all that stuff. I have an acting agent. But anyway, I had a buddy who was an assistant on Cobra Kai, and he was trying to hook me up. And he was somebody that I trained in the old Potter show and who I recommended when I left. I'm like, I want him to be the next captain. I want him to be the next Josh. And I will train him how to be the next Josh.
Incredible.
And so that guy, after a couple of years, his stunt career is going off. And he always wanted to thank me. And he knows how much of a fan I was for Cobra Kai. And so he would try. He's like, hey, I got a spot for you, buddy. But I was on a show called Stargirl. It's a DC show called Stargirl. And I was like doubling the main villain. And I was like, oh my God, dude, you have no idea how much I want you, but I just can't. I'm on the show for 6 months. And he would joke with me like, "Come on, Josh, don't you want to be part of my little karate?"
Come on over to Cobra Kai.
Yeah, I'm like, you have no idea. And so I had finished up that show. My buddy went to work on another show. And then I hear season 6 and everyone is saying, "Hey, it's the last season." I'm like, oh my gosh, I got one chance. I send my stuff and I'm like, "Hey, I'm fully available." I hear nothing back. And then I'm like, oh, well, I guess I'll just be a fan of the show. And so one day I'm at a red light and then I get a message from their current assistant. "Hey, Josh, this is Grandmaster Tony Chung. We're interested in you and reading for a part in the show. Are you interested and available?" I busted a 180 at the red light. And I drove home and I called my wife. I'm like, "Get the audition lights ready."
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I sped home. They sent me the script and I heard it was Russian. It's kismet because remember, I played a Russian dude for 3 years at Potters. And so I knew the dialect. And when I read the script, I'm like, oh, I got this guy. I know him. I know him.
I just love it.
I did one take. And then I sent it. And within 10 minutes, I get a message back saying, "Oh, it's you. It's you."
Oh, I'm so proud of you because you were magnificent.
You.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And what worked out great is because of Stargirl, the girl who doubled the main hero on that one is a good friend of mine. And she was doubling Samantha LaRusso on Cobra Kai. And so when the coordinator talked to her and was like, "Hey, is there anybody you can think of that, I haven't hired?" And she goes, "Joshua Lamboy." And so weirdly enough, because I worked on Stargirl with my buddy, she's the one who recommended me.
Yeah.
And then they're like, "Hey, can you do a Russian dialect?" I'm like, "Oh, brother." And then mind you, then I get there and they're like, "Hey, you're going to fight Chosen." Now, another really cool point of fact, there's a picture of me somewhere in my karate pants, 7 years old, watching Karate Kid with my Karate Kid action figures.
Oh,
and I remember
full circle.
2. Yeah, I remember part 2 more than I remember 1 because part 1 came out in 84. I was like 1. The second one came out mid-80s. That's the one that I clicked with. And to hear that, I'm fighting a guy who I saw growing up years later.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so it went great. We rock and rolled. We really enjoyed working with each other. Afterwards, he was very sweet and we exchanged numbers and we're pals to this day.
Awesome. Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah. So dream come true.
Yes.
Yeah.
What was if you have a favorite moment from Cobra Kai, what would you say would be your just ultimate, absolute favorite moment?
I'm clearly biased. Anything with me in it.
You are my brother's friend.
Yeah.
Only because that means it's a dream come true. So you told little Josh, you're going to fight Chosen and be part of the Miyagi-verse, and you're going to meet Ralph Macchio backstage. You're going to meet Johnny Lawrence. I would have flipped out and passed out as a kid.
Of course.
Honestly, the whole show is so good, and I have several moments. I really liked when he did go back to Okinawa and to find balance, and they brought back a lot of the original people.
I love that too.
Love it.
Yes.
Another huge one I fangirled about. I forgot what end of the season. It was one of the season finales where he's at Miyagi's grave and he's speaking, and you think he's speaking to Miyagi, and he's like, "I don't know what to do. I need help.
Yes.
Will you help me?" And the camera pans and you see it's Chosen.
Yes.
Yeah.
I fangirled out and
everybody's like, yes.
I loved the whole Cobra Kai because they did bring back a lot of the original. So to me, I'm 62 years old. I saw every single Karate Kid. And it was excellent. So that's, It
was wonderful. And I talked to the creators of the show and I got to thank them. And one of the things was the writing is so great because everybody has a duality. There's moments where Johnny's telling, Daniel to calm down.
Right.
Because he's getting too much, Then there's moments where you're like, oh, Daniel's in the wrong in this situation.
Yeah.
It was excellent. The writers were great. Yeah.
And you did such a great job. And I'm so proud that, you got your full circle moment, the little boy watching Karate Kid to actually being on Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
That's amazing.
Another crazy tidbit. Okay. Like you said, Because we saw all the Karate Kids, even the Hilary Swank one.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Now, do you know where that was filmed?
No.
That was filmed in Mass.
Was it really? I didn't know that.
So what was crazy is they were looking for dudes just to like stand in the background and be extras and be some of the tough guys.
Oh, wow.
And two of the guys were from my school. I was just a little young kid though, so I couldn't do anything.
Right.
And so here I come back years later to be a person on the show. Yeah.
Amazing. Just incredible.
Yes. So it's that was like a dream come true. Trying to think of funny. Going on back to you guys, what's hilarious is my memories growing up in Mass and your family have always been absolutely wonderful.
Aww.
I have great memories. I loved your mom and dad.
Aww.
They were so wonderful to me.
And they loved you too.
They were wonderful. Your dad was hilarious.
Yeah, right till the end.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And so when you were asking like what I remember, it's funny because I remember pictures or like a sound bite, right?
Yes.
And the funny thing is the names I remember audibly the most is maybe because they were teenagers around that time is Robin and Aaron, because I remember hearing your mom yell their name.
Yes, my sisters.
Yeah.
Of course.
The ones that were vocalized.
Yes. Oh, my sisters will love to hear that.
Yes.
I have a question for you. You and my brother used to run around the court shouting, Minawali.
Oh my gosh.
What did that mean?
I don't know.
You know, Josh, I gotta tell you though, real quick, that the last 37 years with my wife, we say that all the time. It's fun. Oh yeah, we just sing. I scream out, Minawali.
Yes, you know how people do Marco Polo. We're in a store. We could be in a store somewhere, and instead of doing Marco Polo, we're like Minawali.
Oh my gosh.
And it started with you and my brother.
You know what? Like, he told me that, and I was like, "Oh no, what a mystery!" So you know what's gonna happen. So here's a funny story: young little boy perverts. Your brother used to come over, and your brother and I used to look at my mom's Cosmopolitan at a young age. So watch. There's gonna be like a Citizen Kane moment where like when life passes and we're on to the great beyond, and the flashback of life, you St. Peter's Gates, and you're looking back at life, Minawali's going to probably be some cosmetic that was in that
Probably.
It's going to be that. It'll probably be our nickname for like the girl that was on that.
Oh, that is hysterical.
We used to lay on the talk about like when life was simpler and simple joys. We would when you guys had the house in the corner on Clarence Terrace.
Yes.
We would lay down on that like lush green lawn and just pick a color like blue or red, and we would literally just count the cars of that color for like 2 hours. One.
That's
two.
so funny.
I remember the Freddy Krueger, maybe part 4 poster that was in front of one of your sister's doors.
Yes.
Yeah. I remember your dad telling me when it was raining, we were huddled in, and he's like, every time a thunder or lightning struck, again, we were young boys. He goes, "Hey, that's just God bowling."
Yeah.
Yes.
Just bowling.
He did say that. I have another question for you.
Shoot.
The Walking Dead.
Yes.
How did you love that?
Oh, man. So that's also a very good story.
You were on The Walking Dead.
I know. Not just that, actually. So that's really gnarly. So when I first came to Atlanta, that was the hot show. That's the one that everybody was getting on. And I tried so hard. I wanted to get on Walking Dead. And so nothing was happening. I sent my stuff in a million times. And then one day, my agent hits me up for audition for the show. And it was one of those, I wasn't feeling that great, and so I told we put out my lights and we do a self-tape, which is where they send you like a mini version of the script, and you film yourself auditioning with that, and then you send it, and a casting director either picks you or not. And so it was one of the auditions I got, and they're like, oh, you have 3 days. I sent it within the same hour. Because, again, it was one of those, I just wasn't feeling great. And I said, you know what, let's just film me do it. Let's just go. Acting-wise, it was honest because it wasn't filled with fluff. It wasn't filmed
It was genuine.
Please hire me. It was very genuine. It was organic. It wasn't like,
genuine.
Please hire me.
Right.
You know, I just did it. And so I get a call and they're like, you're hired. I was like, oh my gosh. And so like they bring me on set and they're like, oh, you're going to fight Andy. Now I had a buddy who got into the show and his character's name was Andy. And I was like, oh, I'm fighting Jeremy Palco. And they looked at me like, no, Andy Lincoln. And I was like, I'm fighting the lead of the show. One fight. Wow. It
was incredible. You were phenomenal.
Oh, thank you.
Phenomenal.
Here's what's crazy acting-wise. That fight was really, I loved that fight because he's trying to get weapons and he's going through different rooms, you know. The audience doesn't know yet, but I'm just making sure that like I attack him because that room is my daughter.
Right, Grace. Right?
So it's a fight, you know, of a dad. My real life daughter was the same age as that baby.
Oh, so you must have been feeling that.
Yes. Yeah. And a lady who taught me mime and movement is like a mother to me, and her name is Graciela. And if we had a second daughter, the name would have been Grace. Or Graciela.
Wow.
Nice. Yeah.
So that was a weird parallel. So me and Andy, he was wonderful. He was rock and roll. He loved, you know, we loved going to town. And so we're fighting. And after hours of fighting, we're just drenched, right? And so I'm getting tired. And I'm like, I need to mentally juice up. I need to find my vigor again. I'm getting tired. And so I would just go to the room and I open the door and I look at all the baby things. I'm thinking about my own kid. And then I close the door and I turn to him and he sees my face like I'm about to kill him. And I go, you're not getting into that room. And he goes, oh, I can feel it on your body when we fight. And so it was wonderful. And I remember I get slammed into the wall. You know, and I got that spike that goes through me.
Right.
And I remember thinking, I'm here, I'm on Walking Dead, I'm on a one-on-one fight with a great story behind the fight. I said, you know, I got to chuck myself into that wall. I'm going to throw myself so hard, right?
Yes.
And I was like, and again, this is stunt guy stuff. It's not just knowing how to, hit hard. It's to keep a shot. So, for example, if I threw myself hard and didn't place my feet, I would have bounced right off.
Right.
So when I ran towards that wall, when he swung me, I stopped my feet short. So when I hit, I can continue pushing my body against the wall and not bounce back.
Right.
So
makes
those
sense.
are the things you have to think of.
Right.
You know, I hit it so hard that when they say cut and I peeled my body, I had cracked the wall.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I had cracked the wall.
That scene was incredible.
Yes.
It was a good one. And what was crazy was like it was emotionally rough for me because you guys know as parents, you don't envision a world where you would lose a fight protecting your kid.
Right.
And I had to.
And that was a moment, I think, for viewers too. What an incredible moment for you to be on a scene that left so many people just breathless.
Yeah, another situation. What's right, what's wrong?
Right. And I mean, I don't think if a mother had a dry eye watching that.
No. And I made a mistake and they premiere The Walking Dead, you know, and there's a certain spot in Georgia where some of the cast goes to, not some of the cast, but, you know, few people, and we watched the show at this place. I invited my wife, and so we got to see the premiere with some of the employees. And then I had not thought of how it would affect her. She just watched her husband die protecting her.
Oh, gosh, yes.
So she was like, I'm really proud, but this is hard to watch.
Right.
And I was like, you're right.
Yeah, and for those of us that know you too, believe me, we were all just blown away, and it was so incredible and touching.
Yes.
It was very touching. But what was awesome was, again, I was the kid who couldn't get on that show. I was trying.
Right.
And now check this. I do that. The stunt coordinator was very happy with me because it's a rough and tumble fight, and his actor was not hurt. That is a huge responsibility for stunt guys when fighting an actor.
Yeah.
You know, how do I look like menacing and look like I'm hitting him hard, but I got to protect him because if he gets hurt, we're in trouble.
Yeah.
Right.
You know? And so he did not get hurt. 1 ounce. I had him taken care of, when fighting. And so the stunt coordinator brought me back 2 times to double somebody on a show, to do like a little fall, a mini fight. And then because they enjoyed what I did, a couple of months later, they call me up. I'm not sure if you know this. And they said, hey, we're really happy with the work you've done. And we actually got a spot. So would you mind being the fight coordinator for Walking Dead?
Wow.
So I was the fight coordinator for Walking Dead for 2 seasons.
Nice.
Incredible.
Yeah.
I got to train the actors, make the fights. I created the fight where the character of Jesus
What an
dies,
honor.
the whispers, yeah. And I was the masked man.
Oh, wow.
You have done so much. I'm in awe of you. I'm so proud of you to see everything you've done to follow your dreams. Do you have any advice maybe for someone who, because breaking into that business is tough. I can tell you, just as an author, as a children's book author, I could probably wallpaper my entire house with all the rejections I've gotten over the years.
Oh, absolutely.
So what would you say to someone, someone young, this is their dream?
Well, I do also college lectures and stuff, and I give advice to kids. And the thing that has helped me is a couple of steps. One that I remember hearing from, I was on set a couple of maybe like 10 years ago, and there was a whole bunch of us stunt guys, and I always like talking to older people. The older people have the wisdom.
Right.
Yes.
And I ask them the question.
Me too.
Yeah.
And so, there was a whole bunch of us, but I go to the older guy and I said, hey, how you doing? Any advice, sir? I introduced myself. And he goes, yeah, I'm John Casino. And I'm like, wait, hold on, John Casino. I'm like, wait, you doubled Kurt Russell for 20 years.
Wow.
And he goes, yep. And he goes, this is just one piece of advice. He goes, just be a good person.
Right.
Just be a good person.
Absolutely.
And he's right. Because no one wants to work with the douche.
Right.
Exactly.
Nobody wants to work with the butthole.
Yeah.
No, that's one. But when I say that to people, they often turn on the fake nice person.
Yeah, be genuine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Be a genuine person. One thing that I think is lost in the arts and in general is curiosity.
I agree.
Curious, study things. With Google and everything, you can learn to do so much. You could learn to do so much. Be curious, put in the work, and
don't give up.
Never give up.
And I always say, do the work after the clock. So what that means is, when I talk to college kids, say, happens is you get so used to, okay, my classes are at 9 o'clock. At 9 o'clock, I go to acting. 10 o'clock, I go to singing, whatever, right? And at 5, they're like, okay, cool, I've done my day, right?
Right.
That's just the classwork, my friend.
Right.
To be excellent, you read up that night, watch a movie, watch an old movie,
Study,
and one thing I majorly say as a piece of advice is to start practicing stuff that's not on the schedule. And what I mean by that is kids who often graduate, I tell them, what are you doing on Monday? Because when college is done or your classes are done, there's nothing scheduled for you.
Right.
You have to make that schedule.
Yeah.
You have to now be like, what am I going to do? So I continue to say, study the greats of the past, self-schedule projects, and stay ready. So you don't have to get ready.
Stay ready.
Yeah.
Yes. So you don't have to get ready. That is great advice.
I heard a good one from an agent. It sounds rough, but a kid goes in there and is like, I want to be an actor. And he's like, all right, will you represent me? And the agent goes, cool. Do you have any monologues? Basically short speeches or phrases, that are pre-memorized, a one-person scene, which every actor should have.
Right.
And he's like, cool. Let me hear a monologue. And the kid goes, oh, I don't have one ready. And the agent says, cool. We'll come back when you're a real actor then.
Right.
Oh, yes.
And as rough as that sounds, it's absolutely true.
It is true. You have to be prepared. You have to be ready and do your research.
Sharpened, do your work. Continue. People often try to rush to work when there's a job coming. Do it when there is none coming.
Right. I agree. And that is such great advice. And it is so funny for me sitting here and talking to you and you being this actor who's been on these amazing shows because I still see you as the little boy.
Yeah.
But I'd also like to ask you, being Puerto Rican, what is your favorite Puerto Rican food? Lay it on us. Tell us.
So, all right. So my wife and I joke that, because of our field, my wife's a professional dancer. She's an actress. So a lot of times in our field, we have to stay in shape, and a lot of that is dieting, taking care of ourselves and stuff like that. But our two vices that we've learned is like around the holidays, her grandmother has made like sugar cookies. And a lot of times we try to, each other in check, and she's got the grandma's ingredients. And so, it'll be wintertime, and then she makes a whole batch, and then later on she's like, "Oh, I've had 3 already." And I'm like, "You've had 3?" And then she looks me dead in the eye and goes, "Yeah, and what?" And I'm like, "Nothing." No guilt. And any other season, any other food is like, oh, yeah, maybe you just want less. But that was one. So for me, in the wintertime, they have a thing called pasteles, which is basically, it'll be like a banana mixed with like stuff on the inside of beef and olives and, cut potatoes, and you like boil it for an hour, right? And the texture will be of type of root or a type of banana, and it's wrapped in a banana leaf.
Oh, wow.
And so I've it looks like a tamale. It looks like a Mexican tamale.
But it's delicious.
And so it's super delicious. And I've ordered bags. And now the funny thing is, like, I'm talking about
your wife's like, I have 3 cookies and you got a bag.
3 dozen bags I've ordered one holidays. And the funny thing is she doesn't eat them. So that meant they were all
for
mine.
you.
I have photos of me holding them like they're my children. And I've sent them out almost like Christmas cards.
Oh,
right.
That's hysterical.
But yeah, that's a favorite. And flan, the dessert custard. It's delicious. But those are, again, like all of that. Yes.
Right. I love culture. That's why I wanted to ask you that, because I think it's so important, because it's part of who you are.
Right.
It could turn us on to something delicious too.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It's funny when you were saying like a Puerto Rican playing the Russian.
Yes.
That was my joke on set, because the guy playing Chosen, he's like, so, you have a Russian dialect. What's your background? And I go, Puerto Rican. And he just looks up in the sky and goes, a Puerto Rican playing a Russian.
Oh, that's so
and I go,
funny.
Yep. And chances are I'll probably never be allowed in Russia. After this. As far as some of like the skill sets I have, the funny thing is, one kind of hidden talent is I do a lot of voices and a lot of dialects. When I'm with my stunt group, my buddy who, again, you like in the industry, you find your people, you find your family. Yep. And I'm part of a group. But we also like separate and do our own jobs so you can come back stronger, So it's not so cliquey, but we're like, it's a group of friends. We've been to each other's weddings. We've been to each other's family funerals. When we get together for a show, it's magic and it's awesome and it doesn't feel like work.
Oh, I love that.
And so one of my buddies, Walter Garcia, is so talented. And what worked is when we met, we both were at Universal Studios. We met doing that show together, and we were the first day, June 18th, 2010.
Oh, June 18th, my daughter's birthday.
Bam, you see, meant to be. And so what's great is he always wanted to be a director. He knew, and he knew I wanted to be an actor who did his own action. Right. And he is physically incredible as well, an amazing stuntman. And then he started climbing up, the chain of command, and he went from stuntman, to stunt coordinator, and he's still a stunt coordinator, but at random times he gets to direct. And so he directed an episode of Stargirl, and what was awesome was, before then, we would do indie films, like we would make our own short films, and I was his villain. And what was great was I was doubling the villain on his first episode. So we gave each other a big hug, and I'm like, hey, man, look at us now.
That's so awesome.
You're directing this episode, and I'm the villain for you in this episode. And he goes, dude, I was thinking about that too. And what's great is he knows my acting ability and chameleon-like stature, that when he hires me for the run of a show, one season, I think I doubled 7 people. And it was anywhere from 17 to like a 70-year-old, because he knows I can manipulate my body and voice and everything to move and sound and like emulate somebody on set.
Awesome. Well, my husband, he is an incredible voice actor as well, but he only doubles for Donald Duck.
Oh, boy, what's the matter?
Nice. That's not an easy one.
No, it's not.
Easy one at
Golden Globes coming. I know it.
Yeah, I feel it. Well, it's funny because somebody asked me, like, oh, how does your daughter feel, seeing you on TV? And I'm like, are you kidding? We're at the phase where it's not cool.
Oh, that's not cool.
No, Dad's not cool.
Until you get one on one of her kids' shows.
Well, that's what was hilarious. So, for example, like I remember my wife and I, she's like, oh, because you could see my face in one clearly. She's like, oh, that's Daddy. And she's like, that's not Daddy. and I go, I'm like, well, that bruise I sustained from that fall lasted 3 months, and I'm pretty sure it paid for your Disney trip and your Elsa dress. But whatever. And then, so there's stuff that she's like, whatever about. And then, I'm surrounded by friends who are also in the industry. Our kid's babysitter is also in the industry, and she's Hawaiian, and she got to help out a little bit on the Moana film.
Wow.
Right? And so all of a sudden, my daughter's like, you worked on Moana.
Dad was on Cobra Kai, but the girl on Moana is more of a celebrity.
Yeah. And I look and I'm like, are you serious? And my wife is like, as wonderful wives are, she taps me, she goes, oh, honey, you work on the shows that she can't watch yet.
Right.
True.
Later in life, she is going to be, oh my God, look at my dad.
Yes.
She's going to...
It's only cool when her friends are like, your dad does what? And then she cashes it in. And she cashes in chips.
Yeah.
And we've been watching. I mean, we're going to be paying attention to see where you go next, because we're all so proud of you, the whole family. Like I said, we still envision you as that little boy running around with my brother.
Screaming Minawali.
And making us cry on Walking Dead and watching you play the Russian sensei on Cobra Kai. It's such an honor.
Story.
Yes.
So I worked on the movie Alto Nights, which is a De Niro film.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was a huge one.
Yeah.
It was,
Being on a De Niro mafia film was like huge. So I was on my way, my wife and I were on our way to our 10-year wedding anniversary, right? We had a wonderful cabin set up and we're driving, and then I get hit up by a guy that has been trying to work with me for a while, and he's assisting another guy who I've worked with several times. And so they're like, hey Josh, we're interested in you. Are you available for these days? And plus, can you send us a photo of you, kind of like in a mafia suit? And funny thing is, mafia and that swarthy type of characters are my wheelhouse,
right.
Pirate, mafia guy, all stuff like that, bodyguard, bouncer, that's my thing. And so I was like, and I looked through my phone and I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't have a photo of me looking menacing in a suit, because a lot of times you want to have your own stock photos ready to send out when they ask,
right.
Right.
And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't have one. And so I was like, and as I'm thinking, my wife looks online, she's like, it's filming in Cincinnati, what project is this? And then she goes, oh my God, you have to do this. It's a De Niro film.
Robert De Niro.
Which is where she's from, Cincinnati.
Yeah.
And it was directed by Barry Levinson, who made Rain Man. So
wow.
So it's big fish.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think about it for a second, and I'm like, I got an idea. So I look on my GPS. I find a men's warehouse. I drive to the men's warehouse. I run in and I pick out a 5-piece suit. They're asking me, is there anything I can help you with, sir? And I'm like, nope.
Just trying this on.
And I go into the dressing room. I dress myself, to the nines. I take 2 of their hangers and I set it up with my phone. I take a selfie.
I love it.
I send it to my wife. She crops it and cleans it, and then sends it over, and I get the job in an hour.
Oh my God. How did you get on the Robert De Niro movie? I sent a picture of myself in a dressing room.
In a dressing room at Men's Warehouse. Can I help you? Nope, no thanks. Bye.
Gosh, that's creative thinking.
Yes.
Yeah, and they told me later, they're like, we liked your photo, you looked good in the suit, and they said you were one of the few stunt guys who wasn't trying to look like a stunt guy in the photo. You were like a tough guy in a suit. Other guys probably wore an Under Armour flexing, and
yes.
they're like, no.
And I love that you made the poster.
Yeah, that was crazy. I was like, whoa.
I couldn't believe that when I saw it. I was like, oh my gosh, he made the De Niro poster.
Yeah.
That's big fish.
For me, one of the great things is as much as what keeps me kind of grounded about it and people have asked me, is I just smile often
Mhm.
because for me, it is a continued promise to that 5-year-old Josh. Hey, buddy, we did it.
Yeah.
I got
yes.
you. I got you. I'm going to keep it going, though.
Oh, I can't wait to see where you go.
No, I can't either.
Oh, and the nice little devil horned side of me is like, man, do I wish to be a fly on the wall in every ex of mine. So
Yes.
current husband,
Yeah.
current, and
Right.
so yeah, to be like,
Oh, those teachers from Holy Rosary.
oh yeah, I will leave with this wonderful old school story. I love watching old film. I love old actors. I study them all the time.
Yeah.
And James Cagney is one of my
Oh, yeah.
favorites. And he was at a place, old, very Hollywood dining, and there was a guy coming up to each table trying to talk to the directors and try to schmooze and get in the films. And Cagney just looked at the guy and says, if he just focused on his work, he wouldn't have to do that.
Right.
Right. Oh, that's wonderful. And we are just so glad to reminisce with you.
Absolutely.
To celebrate you. It's such an honor. And thank you for being with us today on our little podcast that a couple of grandparents are recording. How lucky are we that we have Joshua Lamboy?
Yeah.
And we hope to have you back with your surprise.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
So
I can't wait.
This ain't our first and this ain't our last.
Yes. Thank you so much, Joshua. I am so proud of you, and I cannot wait to keep following.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us. Okay.
No problem.
Bye.
We'll see ya.
Bye-bye.
Wow. How cool was that?
Oh my God. I was so excited.
I was too.
Yeah.
I mean, we had Joshua Lamboy
yeah.
on our podcast. I feel so honored.
Yeah.
And talking to him brought back so many wonderful memories.
A lot of memories.
The nostalgia of East Haverhill Street in Lawrence, the little court we lived on. And my grandmother out on the porch, hanging the laundry on the clothesline.
Yeah.
My mother in the window yelling for my sisters and my brother.
Yeah.
It just brought back so many wonderful, warm memories.
Absolutely.
And what a privilege it is for us to have known Joshua when he was just a little boy running across the court. I swear his little feet never touched the ground.
No,
he was definitely like Roadrunner, just taking off. Beep, beep. Oh, all the funny. There's so many funny memories, but getting to see where he started, that little boy in Lawrence, to what he's done.
Yeah.
And
he
being
went for his dream.
Yes, following his dream and definitely being a role model for generations, these younger generations and older. Never give up on your dream, no matter the age. It was such a wonderful, wonderful episode with him.
Yes.
And he got to hear your mad Donald Duck skills. I think he's going to hook you up on a future show. I don't know. Maybe you'll be working with De Niro.
Yeah, right.
Do you think Robert De Niro needs Donald Duck? Josh, put a good word in for this guy over here.
Yeah.
It was great. So this little podcast, you and I just pulling this off together.
Yeah.
I wing this like my eyeliner, trying to work out sound issue problems, new mics. Our son hooked us up with a new mic and just learning how to use it. That's been fun. It's been fun for our son, too, having to teach us. And then software, noise canceling software was canceling out you
it was,
as background noise.
See, he wants to cancel me out. No.
Oh, so funny. So funny. But we're working it out. And
it's a
thank
work in
you.
progress,
Yeah, thank you for being my co-host.
Oh, thank
with
you.
your red-headed wife. We have so many future shows coming, and we have so many great things coming and stories to talk about, people to talk about. We have tea to spill, and just we're just doing this, being genuine, just being us. So thank you, everyone, for listening, and thank you to Joshua Lamboy for not only being a celebrity actor, coming on our little podcast, but allowing us the privilege to share memories with you. So we appreciate that. Thank you for that. And for everyone else, keep following along. We have so many great things to come. And we are wishing you all the magic.
All the magic. We love you.